Shalom, TaNaKh Wisdom. Congregation, assembly, kahal, eidah. In the first covenant, what they call the Old Testament, it's the first covenant, the nation of Yisra'eil is called a congregation, or it's called an assembly, sometimes a community or a company. And the two verb roots that they use, which are interchangeable throughout the first covenant for the nation of Israel, is kahal, assembly or congregation. The function of that verb root of kof, he, lamed, is to gather to implement a plan, or gather in organized opposition. The verb root eidah, ayin dalet he, is the function of that verb root is to decorate, to adorn. The trappings of apparel that signify, that testify to a rank or position. So that eidah has to do with testimony or witness, which the nation of Israel, the congregation, the assembly of Israel all had. They all had a testimony. They all had the witness of the Most High delivering them from bondage. So all throughout the first covenant, those two verb roots were used to signify the assembly or congregation or community of Yisra'eil. The congregation, the assembly or community of Yahweh Elohim. In the second covenant, what they call the New Testament, the fulfillment of the first, it's the second covenant. Yeshua in Matthew 16:18, he says, "On this rock I will build my assembly, kahal, and the gates of hell, Sheol, will not prevail against it." All throughout the second covenant, they translate either kahal or eidah with the word church, which is a replacement word, which is as of late, actually. And it should continue to be the assembly or the congregation of Yeshua HaMashiach. So in other words, Yeshua said, "On this rock I will build my assembly, I will build my congregation, and the gates of Sheol, hell, will not prevail against it." Why? Because the purpose of the assembly of Yisrael, the purpose of the congregation of Yisrael or community of Yisrael, was to what those two verb roots mean. They were to testify and give witness and gather to implement a plan, gather in organized opposition to the wickedness, the rebellions of other nations. That's what the purpose of the function of those verb roots mean, which was the purpose of the nation of Israel. They had the witness and testimony of Yahweh Elohim, delivering them out of darkness into his light, so that they can go throughout the earth giving witness and testimony of the Most High while organizing against wrongdoing, against wickedness, righting wrongs, meeting needs, and setting things in order for the relationships in human society to function according to purpose. The nation of Israel failed. Hence, the coming of Yeshua HaMashiach to do what the nation failed to do. And that's what he went about doing. Righting wrongs, meeting needs, and setting things in order for those who believed in him and who followed him. And when he left, he empowered his assembly, his kahal, his eidah, to carry out what he modeled for them throughout all the earth. So that tells us that the nation, the assembly, the congregation of Israel is the bride of the Messiah, because he came to the lost sheep of Yisra'eil and he made them his bride, his assembly, his congregation to carry out the work. And what he made possible was that the nations to join in and become a part of the Yisra'eil of powers. Shalom, TaNaKh Wisdom.